YouTube, welcome back to the channel. As you can tell from the title, it's going to be the Customs and Border Patrol Application Process. More specifically, my process. So, my initial application was November of 2024 when I first applied. Announcement number was, I believe, 24-2. Right after I applied, I got a questionnaire, to where I just had to explain some things about myself and my thought process. Don't want to go too deep into detail. I'm not sure what can be shared about it, but it was more so just trying to figure out you and the way you thought, right? That one took about an hour or so, and I know in the email it does give you a certain time limit on how long you have to finish it, right? So once that one's finished, you get another email that's to set up an in-facility test. When I first applied, it was the logical reasoning, and then you also had the mathematics test. Both of those together took about 4 hours or so to complete. But I believe since then it has been updated, so now it's just logical reasoning. You no longer have to take the mathematic portions, which is a plus, because that mathematic portion was whooping my ass, right? Probably should have used a better word, but yeah, that math not my strong suit. So yeah, and I probably did mention it before, but you should know by now. Applying is on USA Jobs. You'll search it up, CBP or CBP agent, and you'll apply that way, right? Once you finish the in-facility exam, from then on, you'll just be waiting on your results as well as the results from your application. For some reason, you do still take the exam before you even get results from your application. You can pass the exam, however, your application can still be denied. If that makes sense. So you can just do with that what you will, right? After that, I believe the next step in the process for me was the fingerprinting. Fingerprinting was next, and these are kind of interchangeable. I know there's no set order in how these steps come to you. It's just random. So my next one was the fingerprint process. I went, took maybe 20-30 minutes, walked in, did the fingerprinting. They send the documents off to OPM or wherever they get sent off to, and then that's a check in the box. That one's done. It's pretty straightforward. They usually set you up with a vendor somewhere near you. After that, I believe the next one was the medical. Okay, the medical portion and the physical fitness portion. Medical is pretty straightforward. You know, they're testing out your eyesight. They're checking your heart, making sure you're good to go medically. Right. I know a lot of people do get held up with this. If you've had prior medical issues that come up, this can be a hindrance. You may need some more documentation to go with it, but they will usually request that later on after they get all the results back from your actual medical appointment. Most of the time they do the physical test at the same time, so you may be there for a while for this one. For me, I know I did the physical portion right after the medical, same day, same facility, but it was pretty easy. I believe it consisted of the step test, it was the push-up test, and the sit-up test. It's pretty easy. I am currently active duty Army. I do some sort of PT. I'm not PT stud or anything by any means, but it was pretty simple for me, and I'm not the best at it. So it should be pretty good. Pretty good. I think anyone can pass it if you really try, honestly. Step test is probably going to be the hardest part about it. That's what I do see a lot of complaints or comments about. But if you put the effort in, you can pass it. I do recommend practicing beforehand. Don't just go in there blind trying to do it, because it was kind of tough. I was out of breath. So if you prepare for it, you should be good, right? Okay, after the medical portion and the physical test portion, It's a waiting game, waiting for those things to clear. However, I did end up failing my vision test because I believe corrected. You need to have 20 or it's 2100 uncorrected. Yeah, 2100. If I'm not mistaken, uncorrected is the bottom line. I'm assuming that's because if you lose your glasses, they want you to be able to at least see something. I was blind as a bat, right? So yeah, I felt that portion. I found out maybe a month or so after I took the the medical and physical portion. So they gave me two options. Honestly, it was to either go to another appointment to retry, which I know I was gonna fail again because I was blind as hell. But I also had the option of getting LASIK or laser eye surgery, which I opted for that because it just made more sense for me at the time. I didn't want to go back and fail again and then just get medically disqualified. So I went, knocked it out. Uh, However, you do incur a 3 month waiting period before you can reapply. So once you get LASIK, they close your application, and you have to wait 3 months to apply again. So by this time, it is March of 2024. So November 2023 is when I first applied. March 2024 was when I got the LASIK, right? And that is kind of what put me on a hold for a little bit. I do want to explain farther. However, I'm cut this into a few parts. Just if you guys have any questions about that, you can just comment down below and I'll be sure to answer. But that was where I was for a while. I was kind of bummed out. I hoped that I'd be able to kind of jump right back in, but that wasn't the case. It's more so for safety reasons in case you do end up going to the academy. I know there's a time limit on how long it can be before you get pepper sprayed. So that's one of the reasons as to why you incur that wait. But it was worth it. Again, if you guys have any questions, comment down below. I'll be sure to answer. Thank you.